Galatasaray are facing Gaziantep at home in a very important league game. The 11 I expect from Galatasaray is this one with Uğurcan Çakır in the goal, as Okan Hoca said in the interview after the Fethiye game, that he will be the goalkeeper in this game, with no surprise, of course. As right back, Salay, our centre backs, Davinson Sanchez and Abdülkerim. Eren Elmalı as a left back, I think he struggled a lot in the Fener game, but I think he will get a new chance here. Gabriel Sara and Lemina as midfielders, Leroy Sané and Barış Alper as wingers, Yunus Akgün as a 10 and Mauro Icardi on top. Torreira is suspended. Osimhen and Jakobs are in AFCON still, and Singo are probably not ready for this game either. Maybe İlkay Gündoğan are going to start ahead of Yunus Akgün, because Yunus Akgün got a small injury against Fethiyespor, so I'm not sure if Okan Hoca will risk him or not. And İlkay Gündoğan rested that game. And maybe Kazımcan in front of Eren Elmalı. I doubt that, but you never know. It will, of course, be a very important game because we need to win those home games. It is so important, and get that self-confidence after the Fener loss and before the Atletico game in the Champions League. But we are facing a tough team. The thing with Gaziantep is that they are missing a lot of players. Kevin Rodriguez, Drissa Kamara, who we all know we have been linked with lately, Tayyip Talha, Kozlowski, another player we have been linked with, Abena, and their coach Burak Yilmaz got red card in the cup game, so he's not available either. Still, I think it will be a difficult game because Gaziantep, they are ninth place in the league with 23 points. They are a team that likes possession. They are top 5 in terms of possession in the league. They're also very aggressive. They are the team that has got most yellow cards in Super League. They're also has been rewarded 5 penalties, which is most in the league, while conceded 5 penalties, which is also the most in the league. So this team reminds me a bit of Burak Yilmaz, you know, this crazy guy, emotions. So I think it's going to be difficult. They like to play with 3 in the back. They got draw against Besiktas at Besiktas Stadium, for example. They lost 4-0 against Fenerbahce at home. I remember when I saw that game that they were so open, they were so naive, Gaziantep. They tried to attack with many players. That's not a bad thing necessarily. And you know, they tried to keep possession, but Fenerbahce just punished them time after time. Against Besiktas, they played a bit more different away, but again, they had 42% possession in that game as well, so they don't want to go too low. They are scoring a lot, but they are also conceding a lot. So I believe that Burak Yilmaz will have a special plan. I think he loves these types of games, and he will do everything he can to try to win these games. When you are thinking about that, you know, it's so easy for us to say yes when we are facing teams that are good, that are trying to play out, for example. We will punish them. But the truth is, I remember, for example, the Karagümrük game. If our press is sloppy and they are trying to play out, they can do that easily. And then, if you're facing an okay team, you will be punished. It was not until Osimhen came in against Karagümrük that our pressure began to work a little bit, only because that Osimhen is a crazy athlete. But other than that, we struggle a lot in that pressure as well. So I'm not sure. Maybe they don't want to play out either because, again, Burak Yilmaz will probably have another plan. But it is a difficult team, Gaziantep. But they can be everything from 2-2 against Besiktas away, then to lose 5-1 against Başakşehir or 4-0 against Fenerbahce. So you never know what exactly you are facing. They won against Kocaelispor in the cup with 10 people in probably 80 minutes. So they have some good players. We should not underestimate them. And as I'm repeating myself, Burak Hoxha probably will do everything in his hands to win this game. And yeah, I think that's it for the game. But let's talk a bit about transfers. You know, as we all know, Sayın Abdullah Kavucu landed in Milano 2 days ago, and here it's journalist Di Marzio, Italian journalist, who saw that. Of course, we all knew it. Every Turkish journalist wrote that Sayın Kavucu was going to Milano to meet with Gardi to try to get some transfers. And in 2 days, this is 2 days ago, how many central midfielders have we been linked with who is from Italy or are from the Serie A league? Just lately, we have been linked with Mandela Keita from Parma. We have been linked with Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Fofana, Keita, as I just said, Fratesi. It's just Ederson. It's every central midfielders from Serie A. And it's a striker, reserve striker from Udinese and so on. You know, it's only Italy, only the Italian league in the world that are existing in our head. I just want to say that this planning is really, really making me so angry. This planning from the board, because this is not the first time that this is happening. This is happening time after time, and they never learn. And you know, it's every transfer window, it's the same thing. I will not be surprised if they are ending up with buying Hakan Çalhanoğlu, for example, a fantastic player. But I'm just imagining that they will sign him in the last hour, overpaying a lot. That's what I'm thinking. So this board, I don't know why Sayın Kavucu is the man who's doing these things, watching the record of it. Yes, he got Osimhen, but how long did that take? And the other players, you know, it's just amazing how these board members are never ever learning, throwing out names to the journalists so they can write that Galatasaray has bid on him, Galatasaray wants him, this player is waiting on Galatasaray, and so on. Do they think it's cool, or I don't know? As I said before, do the work and we will applaud you guys. But no, they will just throw out names because they have zero planning. And it doesn't help when Okan Hoxha is saying that we will get players and we will not care about how expensive they are. Of course, the other teams know how we are talking and what our coach and what our board members and everyone is saying, our president and so on. I don't know why they love to talk so much. I don't understand it. It makes me so angry. I'm not even kidding. We have been linked with all of the Serie A central midfielders right now. You know, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, let's go back to him. He's a fantastic player. But is he the right profile into this team? I would not have said no to him. And again, it depends on how much and so on. But thinking about the foreigner rule, I'm pretty sure TFF will change that, but from next season it's 10 foreigners plus 4 who is under 23 years old. Then Hakan Çalhanoğlu is a fantastic signing. He will anyway be a fantastic signing. But he's turning 32 years old this year. And thinking about that, Lemina is turning 33, Torreira 30, İlkay Gündoğan 36, Gabriel Sara is turning 27. So I always said this, you need to younger the squad. If you're going to buy Hakan Çalhanoğlu, you probably also need to buy a youngster beside him. It is so important that our squad is getting younger and younger, because right now I think it's a bit too old. So, but again, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, considering the foreign rule, would have been fantastic, not only because of that, because he's one of the best players in the world in his position. And I'm not agreeing totally that he can only play as a 6. He has performed very well under Montella for Turkey as a 6, 8 and a 10. He's a very smart player. Of course you need to use him where he is absolutely best. I'm not even saying that, but he's a very versatile player and just an incredible player. But again, Inter, why should they get rid of him? And they know what situation we are in, when our coach is throwing out that we will pay whatever for every player and so on. So, yeah. But we've also been linked with Pape Gueye from Senegal, who's playing for Villarreal. He's not from Serie A, but after Sean Coverture went to Italy, every Serie A central midfielders are we linked with. It's just so amateur, man. And I just quickly also want to talk about the Fethiye game. Not the Fethiye game, but how, for example, this one. Okan Hoca said January, 4th January, Berkan Kutlu has bid us farewell. I want to thank him for his efforts. We spoke with Yusuf Demir by his side. We have decided to part ways. This process will continue. Yet Yusuf Demir is playing 90 minutes against Fethiye, while Gürpüz is playing 45 minutes as a right back. Why on the earth are you playing with Yusuf Demir in front of him? It makes absolutely zero sense when both Okan Hoca and Sayın Kavurcu has said that Yusuf Demir is not in our plans anymore. And he's so weak in that game as well. I can't even say to Yusuf Demir that you should perform under these circumstances. It's absolutely impossible when everybody's saying that you're not. They're saying it out loud to the media that you are not in our plans, and then you expect him to perform. It's just ridiculous, and you're letting him get playing time from the other youngsters I want to see. It is just incredible, and John Armando Gunnar is probably ready for us soon. We almost slipped on that as well. And John Armando Gunnar, I made an analyze video out of him, and I feel he is more like Eyüp Aydın and Gürpüz in that stage. People are like, yeah, he will play straight away. No, he just turned 18. He's not ready for that yet. But how on the earth how can you even expect something from Can Armando Gunnar that he will, come into the A team, to the senior team, when you're looking how we are using our youth players? It is almost impossible for the youths. Maybe they're not good enough, I don't know. But I think Gürp is playing very good against, even as a right back against Fethiye. Yet it is Yusuf Demir and Kaan Ayhan who is stealing the playing time. Kaan Ayhan as well. Just look at his physique. You know, he does not have respect for himself, but he does not have respect for the club either. And then you have a coach who's letting him play in front of so many players. I can't understand it. I just can't understand it. How Kaan Ayhan in this state is ahead of so many players. You know, he should not even train with us until he is in form, I think. I know that is important and blah blah blah, but if somebody watched my squad planning before this season, 6 months ago or whenever it was, I said that Kaan Ayhan and Berkan Kutlu, you can't trust them anymore. They are not, you know, they are not good enough to be on the bench either as a rotation player because Okanoja is not trusting them. Kaan Ayhan struggled to move around not only because of his form last year, but because of his body. And now when he's 5-10 kilos plus I don't know how many kilos, he's struggling against Fethiye. So many kilos over, and his body who is struggling, he is getting playing time. I don't get it in front of Gurpus and so on. So yeah, that makes me so pissed off, to be honest, because you know, when you are in this shape, you are showing absolutely zero respect to yourself. Firstly, it is a World Cup, maybe in a couple of months for Turkey, and you're showing yourself from this side. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And you know, when you are doing these things, what annoys me more is that when your rival are doing, you know, they have not the fixed mindset they had under Koch and Mourinho. They are completely changed in that way. With Saran and Tedesco. You know, see, look at Tedesco now. He's throwing out all of this dead weight. Cenk Tosun, Irfan Can, and so on. They're just getting rid of them. And he's coming in with new things, you know. I even remember when people were saying like, yeah, how can he bench Fred and like that? If you have watched one game of Fenerbahce, you see that Fred is totally finished. Maybe he's getting better now, I don't know. But he is seeing these things while we are now, you know, letting players like this getting playing time. I just don't get it. It's a sad thing, you know, and you can't let yourself do so many mistakes like our board are doing right now with the transfers and so on, because your rivals are not the same anymore, so you will have to pay for it much more if you are doing the same kind of mistakes, because before you survived because the others were worse, but right now I don't think that. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. So if you like this kind of content, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment down below what do you think about our transfer strategy, for example. So yeah, see you soon, bye.